You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days fans. So finally, fake Abby told the truth, and now we are wondering if we could get the real Abigail Devereaux back, or at least a recast if Marci Miller or Kate Mansi are not returning. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I want to talk about 3 good reasons to recast and resurrect Abby, and 1 huge reason to leave her dead and gone and let everybody in Salem grieve her death and then close the book on it. And hey, please subscribe if you're not following us. Now let's dive right in. So first, the biggest reason to finish this Cat Green scheme with a twist is just because of Chad's grief. If you didn't know already, Cat Green is the name of the woman pretending to be Abigail. Chad has been devastated since his wife Abby died, and then Clyde Weston tormenting him, saying she was alive, was awful. He and Jack Devereaux digging up Abby's grave to find the empty coffin was like a beacon of hope for them. And then Clyde left that video and other breadcrumbs to lead them to Poplar Bluff, where they found John Black and Cat Green, who was faking amnesia, waiting for them to conclude she was Abigail. So when Chad found out this week that Cat lied and tricked him, he was in agony, moaning like he had been gut punched. It was really awful. And then Cat salted the wound, trying to say she fell for him. Ugh. I mean, I feel bad that Clyde has got her mom, but really trying to tell the guy you're conning you fell for him. In the end, Chad deserves some positive karma after this ordeal. He was devastated when he found Abby in their bed, stabbed and bleeding out, and he grieved her death. And now Chad has got to grieve her all over again. And that's just terrible. And that's why one reason for Days to resurrect the real Abigail is that it would at least heal Chad's heart. And he deserves it at this point, I think. So the second big reason to bring Chad's real wife back from the dead is that Charlotte and Thomas DiMera need their mom, and Abigail's family should get her back after all the angst that Clyde and Kat and Mark's con has put them through. Jack and Chad bought that con hook, line, and sinker, but Jen Horton knew immediately that Kat was not her daughter. Steve Johnson knew at the moment he saw her too, and this has just ripped open the scars for all the people in Salem that loved Abigail. So this horrible Clyde scheme gave them hope, and now it's ripped it away again. So at least Thomas and Charlotte didn't find out their mom was supposedly back from the dead, but for the rest of Dear Abby's family, it would be such a gift if she turned up alive in some miracle. You know, maybe Clyde's got the real Abigail stashed away wherever he's keeping Mark and Kat's mom, whose name is Katerina. So the third reason to bring back Abigail from the dead for real is for the fans. Chabby is such an iconic fan favorite super couple. Billy Flynn played his side of the couple well, whether he was doing scenes with Marci Miller or with Kate Mansi. And I'm sure if they recast, Billy would be great with whoever he was paired with. He has been dynamite in scenes with AnnaLynne McCord as, you know, Faker Cat. So in a moment, I want to talk about whether Marci or Kate has the bandwidth to return to Days of Our Lives, and if not, who might be a good recast. But if you wonder, you know, how would they explain resurrecting Abigail after we saw her die in Chad's arm after Clyde stabbed her repeatedly, I have just one phrase for you. It is Salem. Half the town has been resurrected. Her dad was. I mean, anytime somebody dies on Days, there's always the question, are they dead or are they just, you know, Salem dead? Dead for a moment, a day, a year, 10 years. I don't know what the record is for how long they've left someone dead. Maybe Megan Hathaway. Do you think she's the record holder? Let me know if you know, but she has to be a contender for the record holder. Wasn't she dead for like 20 some odd years? Anyway, so, all right, that's the 3 big reasons to resurrect the real Abigail. But now let's talk about one huge reason not to resurrect her. This is a giant motive to leave her dead for good. So maybe Clyde just replaced Abby's coffin with an empty, identical one and had her reburied somewhere else in the cemetery on top of somebody else's coffin, just stacked two and just relocated her corpse, which is terrible, but Clyde's terrible. So basically, Clyde is the reason not to resurrect Abigail. If you remember, he told Mark Green that with that fake DNA test saying that his sister Kat is the murder victim, then the murder case against Clyde has to be dropped. If Abby is alive and well, then the only thing keeping him in prison is the drug charges, which Clyde thinks his lawyer can get dismissed. So they definitely need to publicly expose that Kat is not the real Abigail as soon as possible before Clyde gets out of prison. But then there's the risk to her mom. So there's going to be some stuff that everybody's going to have to sort out. And Clyde is the main reason to let Abby rest in peace. So he will rot in Supermax until he draws his last evil breath. So despite that, though, I know a lot of fans would love to have Abigail back. But the big question is, who would play her? So Marci Miller wanted to pursue other projects, and she just couldn't make it fit with the shooting schedule at Days. So she left, and she's been very busy. She has done some plays, some primetime TV episodes, and several movies. She has been on the go. She doesn't really look like she has time to come back. The other past Abigail, brunette Kate Mansi, is on contract over at General Hospital. No sign she's leaving anytime soon. She's got a big, plump front burner role. But there are two GH actresses that might be great as recast Abigail. One that's got that ethereal, angelic blonde look like Marci Miller, and one that is darker haired like Kate Mansi. So first, Emma Ryland is the blonde. She was written out at GH in late 2020 when her legacy character, Lulu Spencer, fell into a coma. Her character is about to wake up, but the ABC soap recast the role. And Emma is a dynamite actress who also played younger Abby Newman over on Young the Restless. And Emmy Ryland was also on Guiding Light in the mid-2000s for a few years. So the other General Hospital actress to consider is very popular, and her exit airs soon, but she filmed it almost a month ago. So she has been gone from GH for like 3.5, 4 weeks now. That is Kelly Monaco, who plays fan favorite character Sam McCall. And she is been killed off after 2 decades on the ABC soap opera. And she is a brunette, more like Kate Mansi. And in fact, Kelly Monaco plays Kate Mansi's older sister on General Hospital. So something to think about if they do recast that role.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.